Good morning, geometry students. This is Mr. Kolk. I decided to solve a few problems and show you the video for this because many students were confused about 36 triangles. Let's start with question number one. A triangle. If you recall, area of a triangle is equal to 1/2 base times height. Okay, and what's important here is that height is always perpendicular to the base. In this case, base is equal to 18. Okay, so base is equal to 18 and the height is equal to 12 because by definition height is supposed to be always perpendicular to the base. So this 10 has nothing to do with the area, but it has to do with the perimeter. Okay, so area will be equal to 1/2 times 18 times 12. Okay, and if you do the calculations, half of 18 is 9 and 9 times 12, the answer is 108. Oh, the answer is 108. And the units are square millimeters. It's always in square units, it's area. Now, if you try to find the perimeter, okay, the perimeter for this problem would be this side, this. Okay, so you have to use Pythagorean term twice. First, let's call this x, and let's use 10 square plus 12 square is equal to x squared. Okay, 10 square plus 12 square, if you do your calculations, it will be 100 plus 144, it will be 244. So 244 equals x squared. They asked to, round it to nearest, I think, tenths. So square root. The answer is about 15.6. So x equals 15.6. So this side is 15.6. Now, how do you get the longest side? Okay, so how do you get this side? Think about the big triangle. Let me change the colors. So look at the triangle in red. The big triangle. Okay? If you think about this, the base of this big triangle would be 28. The height of the red triangle would be 12. So let me redraw this, okay? So if you redraw this, you get the base is 28 and the height is 12. Okay? So base is 28. So the base is 28 and the height is 12. Again, let's call this this time y. If you use Pythagorean term, you will get 28 plus 28 square plus 12 square equals y square. 28 times 28 plus 12 times 12. Let me check on the calculator. 28 square plus 12 square. You get 928. So 928 equals y square. If you take square root, okay, you get about 30.5. So 30 and 5/10. So y, it's approximately 30.5. Okay, so this is a little confusing, okay? So what is the perimeter for this triangle? Okay, the longest side is 30.5. So this side is 30 and 5/10. X was 15.6. So 15.6. Sorry, I'm trying to squeeze the work. So the perimeter for the triangle would be 30.5 plus 15.6 plus 18, and if you add the numbers, 18 plus 15.6 plus 30.5, okay, it's 64.1. So the final answer should be, the perimeter should be 64 and 1/10 millimeters. Okay, all right. Let's take a look at one problem with parallelogram, especially when I have to use 30, 60, 90 triangle or 45, 45, 90. So let's scroll down a little bit and let's pick question number 3. I have a lot of space. Okay, so question number 3, it's a parallelogram. Okay, and by definition, parallelogram, both pairs of opposite sides are congruent and also parallel. Area of a parallelogram is base times height. So area is base times height, just like a rectangle. So in this case, the base is 14 and the height is over here. Okay, so let's think about this. If this side is 7, this is also 7. Now, if you look at this triangle, we have a right triangle 45, 45, 90 with hypotenuse is equal to 7. Okay, height is always here. Height is always perpendicular to the base. So how do I get height? If you recall the relationship in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, let's recall this. In 45, 45, 45, sorry, 45, 45, 90, you can't have 45, 45, 45. I'm getting confused. This was x. This was also x because it's isosceles right triangle, and this was x radical 2. Okay, so if you do some work, I don't know if you recall, we did something like in class, the longer leg is equal to s times radical 2. Okay, this is s, not 5. So if you think about this, if this is 7, it will be s radical 2 divided by radical 2 divided by radical 2. Okay, so this is your shorter side. If you rationalize the denominator, multiply by radical 2 over radical 2, s will be equal to 7 radical 2 over 2. So the height is equal to 7 radical 2 over 2. This is the height of the parallelogram. I noticed on your homework some of you use trigonometry and you round it. I think it's okay because the textbook says round to nearest tenths, but I'm just showing you accurate solutions, exact solutions. So the area of this parallelogram would be 14 times 7 radical 2 over 2. If you do calculations, 14 and 2, 7 and 1. 7 times 7 is 49. So the area would be equal to 49 square root of 2 square yards. So this is your final answer. Area will be 49 square root of 2 yards to the second power, or square yards. Perimeter is pretty easy. All you have to do is 2 times 14 plus 2 times 7. Okay, so the answer would be 28 plus 14, which I believe is 42 yards. So perimeter would be 42 yards. Okay, okay. Last problem for today. If you recall the last 2 problems on your homework, you were supposed to do 2 word problems. Okay, and let me do one of them. One of them that has to do with algebra factoring. So if you go to question number 9, okay, question number 9. The height of a parallelogram is 10 feet more than its base. What I recommend for number 9 is do this. Draw a parallelogram and the height is in the middle. So the height of the parallelogram is 10 feet more than the base. So if this is base, height would be base plus 10. Why is it b plus 10? Because 10 more means b plus 10. It's 10 more means plus, not multiply. Please do not write h equals 10b. 10b will be 10 times more. Okay, so now area is equal to base times height. That's the area of a parallelogram. So they told you in the problem that the area of this parallelogram is 1200 square units. So that will be 1200 is equal to b. But now, instead of h, I'm going to substitute b plus 10. Now, if you look at this problem, we have some algebra to do. We have distributive property. So we have 1200 is equal to b squared plus 10b. Okay, I'm going to go at the bottom of this page to finish this problem, okay, because I don't have space. So if you continue, if you rearrange this and put in standard form, you will get 0 equals b squared plus 10b minus 1200. Okay, if you try to solve this, okay, factoring or quadratic formula, I will quickly tell you the factors. This will be b plus 40 times b minus 30. So if you solve it using zero product property, b equals negative 40, okay, or b equals 30. Okay, as we know, we cannot have negative distance, so we can eliminate negative solution. So the answer is the base is 30. So base equals 30 feet. And the height, in the problem, they told you that the height is 10 feet more. So the height would be 30 plus 10. So the height would be 30 plus 10, which is 40 feet. Okay? So the answer to the question is the base is 30 feet and the height is 40 feet. So please watch the 3 problems again. I know it took us a while to solve 3 problems, but hopefully now you understand this. So before you do your bookwork today, because I assign page, let me see, I'm in front of my textbook right now. For homework, I assign page 783. So add problems, so you can, now hopefully you understand this, okay? Tomorrow we're gonna meet on Google Classroom, Google Meet. So 9:30, you can ask questions. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye.